Jennifer, can you leave on time today? I need you to hurry home as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'll be home on time. I'll be home around 6:30 as usual.
Okay, good.
What's wrong?
I was thinking of going out for dinner tonight.
Really? That's unusual. You said you don't like eating out because it costs a lot of money.
I'll pay for it. It's a celebration after all.
I thought we could go out for steak.
Steak? It's been so long.
What do you mean celebration? Did you get promoted or something?
We are getting a new member to our family today.
What? I'm sorry, what do you mean?
You're so slow. I told you the other day about my sister Grace's successful advancement, didn't I? We talked about how we should do something to celebrate.
Yes, we did talk about that. Are you saying we're going out to dinner to celebrate Grace's becoming a junior in college? What does that have to do with the addition to our family?
You're as slow as ever, aren't you? It's a dinner out to celebrate her moving up in school and her moving out.
Moving? Is she going to live on her own? She's going to college on a school loan, right? Your parents and her had a big fight about not being able to pay for her to live on her own.
That's why I decided to take her in. That's what I meant by a new family member. Get it?
What? We're taking her in? What are you talking about?
The move is already done. I took a paid day off today. I went shopping for things for Grace. You know there were only enough dishes for us, right? So I bought more for her. Of course, it's a family necessity, so I paid for it out of our living expenses.
Wait a minute. Living expenses? You mean the money for food and other things? And you used that to move Grace in? I mean, moving in the first place. I didn't hear anything about that.
Who is the head of this house? Me, right?
The head?
I am the master of the house, am I not? If I'm okay with it, it's okay. If I'm not okay with it, it's not okay. So I said yes. You don't have a problem with that, right?
I do. Why did you go ahead with the move without asking me? The fact that you told me after you did it means you thought I would be against it, right?
I was just trying to get through it smoothly and get things ready. In the first place, I would have welcomed Grace into my home even if you were against it. She's the master's sister. She's family to begin with, so there's no problem. There's an empty room available anyway.
What do you mean by empty room? We're using all the rooms right now, aren't we?
The room where you keep all your stuff. It's a junkyard. It's as good as unused.
Don't call it junk. Those are very valuable antiques that were given to me by my grandfather.
No, no, no. Wow, all those old pots and jars, they're all trash. That's why I took all the trash to your study.
What's wrong with you?
That room has an air conditioner. It's perfect for Grace's room.
You don't need your hobby room and your totally unused weight training room. You're only in the living room most of the time. You have 3 rooms: a study, a hobby room, and a weight training room. So why didn't you just give her one of those? She is your sister, and that doesn't even mean she can move in.
It's outrageous to reduce the number of rooms for the head of the house. Anyway, I made a decision, so you should just shut up and follow it. A wife is supposed to follow her husband's decisions. All you have to do is keep saying yes to what I do. That's a matter, of course, for a wife.
That's such nonsense.
I'm pissed. I'll go out to eat something nice with just Grace. I was going to go to the trouble of paying for it, but it's your fault for pissing me off, so I'm going to take it out of the food budget.
Huh? Wait a minute. But someone moving in is something we need to discuss together first if we are going to live together. Mark, are you listening to me? Mark!
Jennifer, can you give me some money, please? I'm going out with my friends and I need money. I mean, I'll just take it. I'll just take some money from the wallet in the living room.
If you take money, even from your family, you are a thief. If you want money to go out, get a part-time job and earn it yourself. The money in the wallet in the living room is our family's living expenses.
Calling me a thief is a bit of an exaggeration. Don't be so stingy. My social expenses for my friends are important to the family too, right?
What kind of logic is that? To begin with, I haven't even approved of you moving in yet.
What? Are you even a human being? Do you have a human heart?
Your mother and father were both against you moving out, saying that you're not ready to leave home yet.
But they said it would be fine if I stayed with my brother. That was based on the assumption that I agreed, right?
Did you see how your father and mother apologized when they found out I didn't know anything about it?
Yeah, when they tried to make me go home with them, my brother stood up for me. I'm so sick of those hard-headed old fogies. The only person on my side is my brother.
Don't call your parents old fogies. They're coming this weekend to your parents.
Oh, then I'll stay at a friend's place this weekend.
There's no way you can live like this when your parents and I don't approve.
Huh? What? Are you suddenly mad? Menopause?
I'm serious. Don't change the subject.
But my brother is okay with it. I'm a junior in college and at a new campus, you know? It's much easier to go to school from my brother's place than from my parents'. The house is big and clean, and there's no reason to go back to my parents' house.
Because the adult said so.
I'm an adult too, over 20 years old.
Grown-ups don't spend other people's money without permission.
I'm a student. Studying is my main job.
You're just about to finish the semester, aren't you? I don't see you studying at home. You're always sleeping till noon. You're going to fall behind in attendance, aren't you?
I've asked someone to cover, so I'll be fine. You don't even know what it's like to be a college student these days, so don't act like you do.
Anyway, I don't approve of the move. And you haven't kept any of the promises you made me 2 weeks ago.
Promises? What did I promise?
You would do your share of the housework. You would go to college and study seriously.
No. I go to college, just enough not to flunk. You do all the housework. I'm trying to do my part too, you know. But you take all my chores away from me.
You leave the laundry for days and then slip it in just as I'm about to do the laundry. And I'm left to do everything myself. You even eat the food I prepared ahead of time. Then, when I have to work late, I have to cook again after I get home. So I have to do everything twice.
You know what they say. You can't fight a war if you're hungry. My brother says I can eat whatever is in the fridge. I'm just doing what my brother says.
There's a limit. I told you about my job, my daily routine, and why I make things in advance, didn't I? I also told you that my husband and I have a different life routine than yours, and that it would really bother me if you did things without my permission.
If you can't follow those rules, then you really can't live with us.
If I don't see any improvement, I'll have some ideas of my own.
Ideas? What? My brother will protect me anyway. You're just a wife, but you're so bossy.
I can force you out of the house, can't I? I respect your opinion, And I'm trying to work things out through discussion. Your parents are trying to persuade you. But if adults get serious, they can do anything they want. If you really want to continue living together, you need to think this through.
What? A threat? Oh no, that's scary. I'll tell my brother I'm going to stay somewhere with my brother and I'm not going back to my parents' house.
If that's the case, I think you should change your attitude.
I'm just living the way I want to live. My brother said I'm free to do as I please. I think my narrow-minded sister-in-law is the problem.
Enough already! I still have work to do, and I don't have the time to text anymore.
I'm going out, so sorry, and thank you.
Mark, I'm home.
Are you back? Are you in front of the house?
I'm here. Can you explain? Why have the locks changed? Why the key I have doesn't work? And why my stuff is outside of the front door?
Things are a little dangerous these days, aren't they? That's why I changed the locks to increase security. You know, so that no one outside the family can get in. And then the stuff, I think you're mistaking it for garbage.
Do you know what you've done?
I heard you threatened Grace. If she doesn't listen to you, you'll forcibly kick her out. Grace was crying because she was scared. As an adult and as a sister-in-law, aren't you ashamed to threaten your college-age sister-in-law and make her cry?
That's just a part of the story.
Whatever it is, it's true. Grace is crying.
I doubt those tears are real either. I wanted her to keep her promise. If we are going to live together, we should share the household chores. I also don't want her to ignore my schedule. I'm just saying that we should cooperate with each other to create a good living environment.
I don't know if I'll be fooled by your lame explanation like that. You've always hated Grace. Mackenzie was crying that her sister-in-law hated her.
I don't hate her. The first time I met her, she gave me a score of 24. After that, every time I saw her, she sarcastically told me off. And every time I went to my in-laws' house, she would complain about the gifts I bought. She kept asking me for money, and when I refused, she cried to you like a child. And you ended up taking money out of my wallet to give her an allowance. I'm sure anyone would get tired of it if it happened again and again. Am I wrong? When I type it out and look at it again, I think I'm the one who put up with a lot.
If you don't like Grace and you want to bully your sister-in-law, I have my own thoughts. You should understand how it feels to be kicked out a little. I'll kick you out before I kick my sister out. From now on, my beloved sister and I will live together. So get out of my house.
Then I'll sell this house.
What? Sell it? You? You can't do that. This house is my house.
Huh? Have you already forgotten? It's my house.
What? No, no, no. What are you talking about? This is my house, right?
I thought you've become a bit of an overbearing husband lately. But have you forgotten that you think you're right about everything? Moreover, before I married you, I used my own savings to do it when I was single.
Huh? Wait a minute. I thought when we got married it would be changed to my name.
Of course not. I became your wife when we got married, but the house is still in my name. There's no rule that says you have to change it. Have you ever paid the property tax on the house since we got married?
Property tax? What is that?
How can you be the owner if you don't even know what that means? I just loaded the car with all the stuff that was taken out without my permission, and I'm going to rent a monthly apartment. I'll take the opportunity to sell the house and the land and buy a condo.
What's going to happen to us if you sell it? Where are we going to live? I mean, don't be selfish.
Who's selfish? You let your sister move in without telling me. And then you gave her a room for the collection that my grandfather gave me. And now you call my stuff trash and put it outside? How dare you? You've got some nerve. It's shocking.
No, because I thought it was my house. And it was stuff I didn't want in my house.
So it doesn't matter what I do with my house either, does it?
Wait a minute. I think there's been a misunderstanding. The three of us will discuss Mackenzie's situation at length again. So come back. I'll even unlock the front door for you.
What are you talking about now when we talked about it for 2 weeks to no avail, including your parents? Yeah, it's a good opportunity. Let's get a divorce.
Divorce? I don't see the point in being married to you. Let's get a divorce and each of us start fresh.
Then, no one will complain about you living with your sister.
Wait a minute. Divorce is such a big deal.
Then what the hell did you think you were doing, throwing my stuff out and telling me to leave? You know this is not a joke, right?
It's just that we thought we'd give you a little time to reflect.
Give me some time to reflect? With such a naive idea, there's really no way to save you when you end up with a 5-figure debt.
Wait a minute. Debt? What do you mean?
Oh, it's the cost of repairing the antiques I inherited from my grandfather that you treated so roughly. I took a picture of the state of the antiques before you touched them so that there would be proper evidence, and I handled them with gloves. I'm sure your and Grace's fingerprints are all over the cracked antiques. Some of them are so valuable, it's going to be very expensive to repair them.
You're kidding. Aren't they just junk? I can't believe those dirty pots are worth that much.
Even if they were junk, I don't intend to be with a person who would damage something precious that someone got from their grandfather without a second thought. So I'm not going to beat you. So now, I will demand a divorce, the cost of repairing the antiques, and compensation for what cannot be repaired.
If you do that, I'll go bankrupt.
I know you said you're the husband and the head of the household, but I wonder if you can afford it with only half of my annual income.
Jennifer, I'm sorry. Please, reconsider the divorce.
If I divorce you, you won't be able to sustain your current lifestyle. But I've already made up my mind.
Please, think of it as helping me.
Did you help me?
Huh?
Did you help me when I had to manage household chores while I was busy with work? When I tried to save time by preparing meals in advance and Grace ate it without permission, leaving us with no dinner, did you assist me? Actually, you yelled at me, saying something like, if you were a wife, you should be able to prepare dinner quickly. Don't make your husband wait. You didn't do anything for me. And to top it all off, you kicked me out. It's easy to ask for help when things get inconvenient, isn't it?
I feel really sorry.
Anyone can feel sorry, but it's too late now. I don't think we have anything to share in the estate. But we have furniture and appliances and all sorts of other stuff. And I'll be in touch with you again through my lawyer. Don't worry. With all the expenses you've incurred and the contributions you've made to the family, it's all mine. You can leave with a clean slate. Oh, You'll still have your negative assets, though.
Jennifer, please, let's talk it over once. Please, don't divorce me. See, if we talk it over, I think you and Grace will understand each other. Sure, she's a little selfish, but I'll make her keep her promise. So let's all talk it over.
Let's all talk it over with the lawyers.
That's not what I meant. Jennifer? I don't want to divorce. Jennifer!
Jennifer, please come back. We have no place to go.
Haven't you moved out yet? That place is already on the market, so you'd better get moving.
We don't have anywhere to move to, so let us stay at your new house. We're sisters. We should live together. Hey, you're worried about me and your husband, right? I'm your adorable sister-in-law, aren't I?
You're desperate, aren't you? Maybe you got thrown out of your parents' house and you're on the street.
What? How do you know?
Your parents came to apologize to me again, and that's when they said they were cutting you guys off. They lamented that they had raised you wrong. How does it feel to make your own parents cry?
Cried? Mom and Dad?
I'm sorry, but I have no intention of getting back together with Mark. And I'm not wavering in my decision to sell that house.
My brother says the debt is my fault. He's nagging me to get a part-time job.
He broke my precious antiques, so it must be a huge amount of money. I don't think a college student can pay it back with just a little part-time job.
That's why I was told to take the time off from school to work full-time. If I work full-time, I won't have enough credits. And even then, I'm in trouble.
Didn't you say it would be okay because you were paying someone to attend the lectures for you?
Doesn't matter that I had someone doing it for me. It seems that in order to avoid having people do that, I had to write a short report at the end of the lecture. It was almost like I was missing the whole class.
That's tough.
Even though it's just a little school loan, my mom and dad have already told me that I have to pay it back on my own. We were going to pay for half of it with my mom and dad's retirement money. I didn't expect mom and dad to be this mad at me.
Well, even though they both work, they don't make a lot of money. So I was sending them money. And now, you're the reason they're losing it. Of course they would be angry.
Sending money?
I send money to them every month. Mark said it was natural to send money to his parents. That's why. But he didn't get paid enough to pay out of his salary. So I had no choice but to do it myself.
I didn't know that. Hey, how did this happen? Is it my fault?
The reason why your parents had a hard time living in the first place is Mark didn't even study hard. But he insisted on going to a private university. And he insisted that he wouldn't borrow any money. So he made his parents pay. Next, his sister went from a private high school to a private university and paid a ridiculously high entrance fee, right? Tuition is indeed like a loan.
So it's my brother's fault.
Your grades weren't good enough to get a scholarship either. So you're on a loan with a high interest rate that I don't even know the name of. I'm sure you'll have a tough time from now on, but hang in there.
Oh God, it's my brother's fault, not mine. Please help me, even if it's just me.
I refuse. That kind of excuse only works for children. You're an adult. You are on your own. Do you realize how difficult it is to earn the money you were so easily taking from the household budget? Good for you for learning about life. Well then, I'm not going to be in direct contact with you guys anymore. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Jennifer. And that it wasn't my brother's house. I didn't know that you were paid more than my brother or anything. Please help us. I'll be a good girl from now on.
You know, it's quite a curious situation I find myself in. When it comes to my ex-sister-in-law and ex-husband, who, mind you, are now fully grown adults, I have this undeniable sense of liberation. It's as if a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, freeing me from any sense of obligation to lend them a helping hand. Oh, how liberating it feels. So, what did I do, you may wonder? Well, I took a firm stand and decided to charge them mercilessly for everything that they had taken from me. Yes, every last bit. And not only that, my friend, I went a step further and disowned them. Can you believe it? But let me tell you the aftermath of this whole situation. It seems destiny had its own plans for them. The ties between my ex-sister-in-law and ex-husband were severed, not only from me, but also from my in-laws. It's like a domino effect, really. And what do you think happened next? They found themselves huddled together in a rather modest and inexpensive apartment. Oh, the irony. Now here's a twist for you. Despite the hardships they faced, they somehow managed to scrape together the funds needed for repairing an antique piece. How, you ask? Well, they resorted to juggling multiple part-time jobs. Can you imagine the hustle they must be going through? It's quite a sight, I must say. Rumor has it that my former sister-in-law had a bit of a rough start right from the beginning. Poor grace and attendance issues plagued her, leading to failure and the need to repeat a whole year. Quite unfortunate, isn't it? But hey, life has its own way of teaching us lessons, and it seems like she's getting